kind of got cut off, but I'm gonna make this short and sweet. But my point was that go to somewhere that you haven't been before, even if it's like a city right next door to yours and it's like a new place. Like find somewhere and obviously research the demographics because you want it to be a safe neighborhood. You don't want to move somewhere that's like dangerous and it's crime ridden, right? But like you learn a lot about people and different cultures and their behaviors being in, even if you're a fish out of water, because like I'm basically like a Hispanic Latina in a very like predominantly I would say white neighborhood, I guess. I don't like saying the words with white and black. I've never have. I feel like it's like kind of discriminatory, just because we're a society that's really big on labels. Like we compartmentalize and categorize people, whatever. So, but anyways, that's just the way it is. So, but I would say do it because you're gonna learn. You're gonna see people the way they live in a different like how in a different walk of life, and from their like even the architecture. Like you'll see the architecture, you'll see you'll know just yeah, like everything. Like it gives you perspective. Like you learn a lot about the world and society, even if it's someone, even if it's, and that's how you, so one thing I've learned is that's how you build cultural sensitivity and respect for like cultural diversity, because no one is going to look like you. We all look different. And it's the same thing like in a housing setting, right? Like Miami is going to be starkly different from St. Albans, Vermont, or Burlington, Vermont, or I would think, well, Burlington's probably more multicultural because it's more metropolitan. So the more metropolitan you go, the more like, culturally diverse someone will be. And if you're someone that's not really keen on getting to know about other cultures, I mean, I don't know. I think we all owe it to ourselves to do so, because people are going to come in all shapes and shades and sizes, and you can actually, I think, learn a lot about people. I don't know. I just think you can learn a lot about yourself and about others by just people that are different from you. You might gain perspective that you never had before. Like one thing I always tell myself is that like when I worked in a hospital setting, there were so many people from different like walks of life, and I'll never forget one of my biggest like moments that I loved was when I worked in a playroom at a hospital, and there was a family that they were Arabic, as I know the language, or they practice Islam as a religion, right? So they practice Islam, but they were Arabic. They spoke Farsi, and the mom wore a hijab, so basically like her eyes were seen, but her face was like you couldn't see her face. Like you could see her eyes, but you couldn't see her face, and that's done in respect and reverence for Islam. So like they're showing respect and reverence for the body, like a woman's body, because they want it to be covered. And I don't know the true characteristics of it, but I just know that that's like the basic understanding of it. But anyways, so it was the mom, it was a long-term chronic patient on the respiratory unit, and the dad would come in, and I just remember like they were very like just, I don't know, it was like, not saying awkward, but they felt uncomfortable. You can tell because they didn't make eye contact. They barely even like hello. They didn't acknowledge my presence, and anyone else, not just me. It wasn't something against me. It's just that's the way it was. And yeah, so I took it upon myself to make them feel comfortable. I learned like there was salam and ma salam. I learned like a little bit of, I didn't learn Farsi, but I tried to learn the greetings and the salutations so that when they entered the space, they felt welcomed. And I think that's how you kind of like, we have to kind of be is like demonstrate that cultural sensitivity and respect, because, I think they were visiting from Kuwait or Qatar or something. But yeah, I kind of, when I was outside, I was like, I always try to like, I know Duolingo you can learn different languages and stuff, but I just think it's like respectful. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I don't want to like generalize my opinion and apply it to like everything, and I'm not an authority on things, but that's just how I see it, right? And it's true, like if you like coming here, there might be societal norms or things that I'm not used to. Like I know when it was Christmas time, something that was interesting that I saw that they did was they decorated like I didn't go to it because obviously I don't have a car, I can't, whatever. But they have, they did this like event, and I saw it on Facebook, which was like they decorated all the fire trucks or like pickup trucks with like Christmas lights. It was pretty cool. Like I saw a picture of it, and I was like, they never would do that like in Miami. So, it was just something different. you know, and like it's, you know, it's new. Sometimes people, we need to, I think, expand our horizons and get comfortable in the uncomfortable, because I think that's where the most growth happens. So would I say that I would live in Vermont? I mean, if I don't know, that would be like in perfect world, like if I had, I'm not really that money hungry, but like if, you know, if money wasn't an issue, I'd probably, like, it would be nice to like I'd need to be away from people. I'd want to have like a lot of land, and be able to have like it be fenced in where Bonnie could run wherever she wants, and maybe have a horse or something. And like, you know, I could picture that being like the kind of Vermont I'd want to live in. Not so much like this kind of area, but like having like rolling hills and like, you know, not a ranch, but like, because I can go either city life or I can go really country life. It just depends on like the circumstances and the people around me. But I will say that there's a thing in Jeffersonville that I want to do that's called, it's the Golden Retriever experience. And it's like, but it's in another city, like another town. It's in Jeffersonville. But basically they like unload a bunch of like Golden Retrievers, like, and you get to taste maple syrup. They have like this pancakes and maple syrup thing. So it's very super Vermontish, and I told myself I wanted to get a plaid shirt. I don't know, I just feel like that's very like, seems kind of lumberjackish, like whatever, but I don't know. That'd be fun. I probably should, I don't have really the money to spend on that, given her vet bills and just in general, like not working. And it's not that I'm lazy. I want to preface, I'm not lazy. I do want to work. It's just, I think the job market now, there's a lot of job postings, but to get selected is harder, because I think there's like AI uses, like, they basically like scan a resume for like keywords. They do basically, I think it's called a Boolean search. And if you don't have like your resume custom tailored to that, you would have to basically do a custom tailored resume to like every single job posting, which I'm not going to do. I look at it like, I let the universe do its thing, and the right people, right place, right time, you know, kind of vibe. But yeah, I think I just want to say that I'm not lazy. I'm not working because I haven't found the right, and plus I needed time for myself to take off to engage in self-care, which I recommend everybody do as well, at least for like a summer or like 3 months. Like if you're a guy, I don't know, like if you're into sports, just do like maybe like a sports clinic and get really good at like playing basketball or playing golf or soccer, and just like really invest in that, and then work on yourself, do yoga on the side. I don't know, if you're a woman, like, I don't know, do a yoga workshop, go get a massage. It's amazing how the human body is so miraculous, because you can really revitalize and regenerate yourself through things like music, through dance, through yoga, exercise, and all that like icky stuff like depression, anxiety, that all, you literally, I mean, with medication is whatever, but like there's so many different outlets you could use to like replenish your energy and revitalize yourself, and there's a lot to be said for like different activities like that. So I think, you know, after I went through kind of trauma and stuff like that, I decided, I was like, I needed to invest time in myself, because I do feel like I have pretty good emotional intelligence and self-awareness. So I did horseback riding. I got tattoos. I have my cross tattoo. I have another tattoo over here on my other side of my wrist. What else? I got a massage. I went to like it was called Black Falls Therapy Workshop. So we did like a vision board. I was with like, it was like the Women of Today or Tomorrow or something like that. And it was pretty neat. Like, yeah. So, I highly encourage people to engage in self-care. So key points: engage in self-care, go to another city, even if you feel like a fish out of water, get comfortable in the uncomfortable. And you don't have to stay there forever. I mean, especially if you have the funding to do it, like if you have savings or money, do it. And then vet your vet, because you don't want to end up with exorbitant amounts of money on a vet bill. And also look into pet insurance, because if I had known about pet insurance beforehand, I probably would have had it and then, you know, utilized it when I needed to. So, and also invest in a good pair of boots. Where's my boots? Because if you don't have boots, you can slip and fall on your butt. And thank goodness I didn't break. So you have your sacrum, you have your coccyx, you know, your tailbone. I literally fell. That's what I fell on. And my heel went underneath me, and that was really scary. And I almost fell on my stairs too. The stairs, you would think that they have like the traction, like the treading or whatever. So this house is a little bit older. I think that it was renovated and like remodeled. That's the heater over there. That thing is awesome, by the way. I've never heard of a Rene heater. That thing is awesome. But let me tell you, for being a house like it's older, it's pretty well insulated, because I was deathly afraid I was gonna like be like frozen and super cold. I wasn't. It was pretty. Well, I was able to use another little heater in my room. That's like my own little it's a teeny tiny heater from Amazon, but it is powerful. That thing packs a punch, and it's like almost, how old? Like 2 years old now. So, anyways, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent, but that's it. I think anything else. Key points. I said my key points, and it's probably, I don't know. Ziggy, what time is it? That's my Ziggy.
Time is 7:27.
7. I'm never usually up at this time. And yes, I do have a penguin in my, that's only because I really don't have storage. So that's that. And I think someone had commented that they wanted to see more walks or something, me walking or whatever. So, or walks outside. So I will say I'm kind of new to the whole video posting thing. I never used to be privy to it, because I didn't want to, like, I wasn't into the whole like, oh, this is me and my life and whatever, and watch me make pancakes, you know, like. But now I thought about it, and I'm like, there might be people who seek comfort in maybe they might watch other people and gain perspective from seeing other people live their lives. Because I've seen videos about like women who live alone in their 30s, and they put as a title, single woman living alone in Tokyo, single woman living in Australia or New Zealand, come with me living in the forest. Like, there's literally one girl, I forgot her name, she literally like lives off the land, like in the like she bathes like in the river. I'm like, bro, like that's bro. But you know, to each his own. So I was like, maybe there's someone out there who's my age that would benefit from, you know, that's scared to like start something new or move somewhere by themselves. Like, I mean, I did it, so I guess so can you. So why not, you know? And I think one thing I will say is that I never realized how connected, like, the internet could really connect people. I used to kind of think of the internet as like it was a gift and a curse, because like social media, there's a lot of disadvantages just because the way things are portrayed and the content that could be out there. But it also, the advantage is like you can build a social community with people, granted if they're not cuckoo and crazy, because some of the things that people write as comments that I've seen on other videos, I'm like, they should be like disbanded or disbarred from like ever having a keyboard because it's so rude. Some people are just so rude, and it's like what are the Karens? They call themselves the Karens, and I'm like, no. I'm not here for the Karens. Like, there was one guy I was subscribed, or I not now because it's a bit costly, unless they do a discount. I was subscribed to BetterHelp Therapy, which is, I highly recommend BetterHelp Therapy. They have some really good therapists. They also have really good like support groups, and I lost my train of thought. Like workshop, like webinars. And there was one therapist, he was based in North Carolina, and he said there were some people that were in the webinar like writing like really not nice comments, and he said, we don't do haters here. He's like, he said y'all are drinking the haterade, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna keep that. So it's like, you know, if anyone were to comment on anything, or whether it's mine, and if there's any hateful comment, you will be blocked. It will be banned. I will not have you in my space, because I wanted to, if I did a YouTube channel, I told myself I wanted to be a safe space with positivity for growth and change. Not for, there's enough hatefulness and political divisiveness and anger and stuff in this world. Like, we don't need to like contribute more to it. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna give a snarky comment, like stay in your house, don't like have a keyboard, and like just keep to yourself. Like, there's like golden rule. There's, what was it? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And it's true. I think some people feel like they have to say mean things because it makes them feel more powerful and stronger. And it's actually like, no, they look dumber and more petty and ignorant, if anything. At least to me, that's what I think. So if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And if you have something nice to say, do say it, because it might make someone's day and change your life. Yay. Bye.